everyone, John Ponick with the Mojave Valley Daily News. Welcome into the Huddle.
Oh, wow.
I figured I'd spice things up a little bit. It's the last one.
Did you drink a Red Bull?
That's why my face is so red. I'm all hyped up. It's actually kind of warm in here. All right, we are going to, this is the Huddle, brought to you by Anderson Ford of Bullhead City. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Matt Curtis from Anderson Ford. We also have Matt Hanrahan from Barron. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. We are going to talk Super Bowl. We also are going to give away, so all year long we've been
Super
doing...
Bowl tickets. Come on. You kept those for yourself?
You know how much Super Bowl tickets are?
Well, we
I have
got
it
that
right
one
here.
set donated. You kept them?
We didn't get anything donated.
Oh. Never mind.
We do have a nice Jeep parked out here that we are giving away. No. All year long we did a contest where you would pick the, we had 2 games, random games, and you would pick those, and the people at the end of the year that met all the criteria and performed well in that, their names have been entered in here for 2 prizes. Second place person
Sure, that works.
wins $150 up at Laughlin Ranch, at Laughlin Ranch.
At the restaurant?
I'm sure I'm saying
golf
ranch
course?
a lot. No,
And
at the ranch.
the ranch itself, the
is the
restaurant.
name of the restaurant.
Gotcha.
Right?
The Ranch Bar and Grill.
Yeah, that one.
Their official name.
And the winner gets a recliner from Mattressland. So thank you to the Americans over there for donating that as well. So we'll do that in a little while. Can you?
I will pass it
bring
over
that
here.
over to the side?
Yep,
Don't
I
let
will
me
do
forget.
that. I will not let you forget it's right here.
We're going to do that down the road, so you have to sit through this.
Good.
First.
It should. It's worth it.
Entertaining.
It's worth it.
It absolutely
Yeah.
is. All right, so we're going to talk about it. I got a couple things to fire out at you. You know how much the cheapest ticket is for Super Bowl ticket is this year? The cheapest
I know they
ticket.
keep fluctuating, but the cheapest I saw that was out there was $7,600.
Okay, the cheapest list price was $6,600.
That was a pretty good guess. I mean, you saw that. You didn't guess that. You saw that.
All the way up to $104,000. So it's good that the fans that were supporting these teams all year long have a legitimate shot to go and
Absolutely.
Now, do you think it's
second mortgage on their house.
49er fans that are buying those tickets? Since they, since they like to take over the Ram Stadium.
Yeah,
They
I'm
bought
sure
them
of
for
it.
the run.
Right. Exactly.
Super Bowl I tickets went for $6 a piece. Game was not a sellout. All right, there's been 55 Super Bowls so far. He already guessed real close. Do you know how many times Tails was called out of 55?
Out of 55, let's say 33.
29.
I win.
I always go with Tails never fails.
Yeah, but I just want to say I
You
win
were
because I was at
closer.
28. Plus, he was over. Price is Right rules. He would automatically lose.
This
It's
year's
not my
game.
fault if you fall short.
That's
I
true.
over, you know.
That's true.
This year's game is the first time to match up a pair of number 4 playoff seeds.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty impressive.
Bengals are one of 12 NFL teams seeking their first Super Bowl title. Well, the Raiders have won, and the Packers have won.
They have.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Cardinals have not won.
Yeah, not a Super Bowl.
Not a Lombardi
Yeah,
Trophy.
NFL championship
No,
they have, but not
no Lombardi Trophy wins.
0 for 55.
I saw a funny meme about that too.
The
About
Ba-
the Vikings. They said the Vikings still have not refused to win the Super Bowl because they don't want to put a Lombardi trophy.
The Lions as well. The Lions are on that list.
What a poor division. No wonder your team's been so good every year.
Right? For the Super Bowl, the Bengals will serve as the home team and wear black jerseys. The Rams will don a throwback uniform, white tops, yellow pants.
Nice.
Black
Rams.
versus white. That's
Good
interesting.
versus evil.
That's interesting.
Should be an Eminem song. Speaking
Yeah.
of Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar will perform at halftime.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Really?
Yeah.
Lies.
Maybe a couple of them.
You've never heard
I'm
of
getting
Snoop
old.
Dogg, Dr.
Snoop
Dre,
Dogg might be
Eminem?
the one. Pretty much Snoop Dogg. Eminem, that's like the landscape company in town, right?
Yes.
They're going to go and perform?
Eminem.
Okay,
Yeah, that
perfect.
one, that's the one.
I'm just getting old.
Super Bowl winning teams each team member receives $150,000 for the victory, $75,000 to the loser. That's not bad.
Can you politically, in a politically correct way, call them a loser? Is that okay nowadays? You think, or is it second place,
Am I gonna
or
get fired?
I don't know. I'm just
It's not
curious.
youth sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So I
true.
think it's okay.
But it's still a participation trophy if they're getting something. So
yes,
it might
yes.
be like
No
youth
matter what.
sports.
Hey,
Just a
it's-
thought.
It's kind of like paying somebody overtime.
True.
Okay, makes sense to me. I was just curious.
All right, should we dig into the game?
Let's do it.
All right, who wants to start?
Either way. I like that idea. You want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
I think that I don't know.
That's a good point.
I like it.
That's a good
Struggling
point.
with this. All right, so
Yeah.
I intelligently.
Oh, jeez,
That's why
setting
I'm
you up for
struggling with
failure
this.
right there.
Now you can see why I'm struggling.
Just say the Packers.
If you look if you go by who has the better team, it's easy. Right? Rams should win. But I just see so many things, and maybe it's my heart rooting for the underdog, but I just see so many things that to me looks like the Bengals have a legitimate shot. Here's the things that I anguished over.
That's another good word.
Thank you.
Yep.
Neither team can stop the pass. They're terrible. They're I don't know, like 24th and 25th or something like that. Both of them are studs at stopping the run. So I think it's just going to be a pass thing. If you do that, the Rams, obviously, they put a lot of pressure on you when they know that you're going to be passing with Aaron Donald and Von Miller and that whole team there. I also think that they can take, and maybe you guys have an idea on this, but the conventional thing would be you take your best defender, Jalen Ramsey, your best DB, and you put him on their stud and you use that. I'm not sure Jalen Ramsey, as much as I like him, I'm not sure that he can stop Chase himself. So the other side would be you double him and you put him on number 2. And that between that and putting pressure on him, it just makes sense that the Rams win this game. But I still am laying in that spot where I think that Matthew Stafford has to screw something up at some point.
You'd think, right? You'd think. I mean, I possibly. That's the way they lose, right? Matthew Stafford has to screw something up.
He will have to fall apart. So now I'm sitting there going, all right, so the eventuality of either Matthew Stafford screwing this up or this is his year. This is his, glory year thing where he just has this magical run with his new team all the way through the playoffs and he wins the Super Bowl. But I also think that the same thing's going on with Joe Burrow about having this magical year. So all of that said, I'm going to go with the Rams. I think it's going to be whatever the over-under is, I'm going with the over because I think it's going to be pass, and you have 2 electric guys there between Cooper Kupp and Chase, and quarterbacks that are performing well. And even though Burrow got knocked down or sacked, whatever it was, 9 times a couple weeks ago, he still is he still threw for 343 yards or something ridiculous.
And they did a better job protecting him in the second game than obviously the first game.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the Rams, but I think it's going to be super close and it's going to be high scoring. I really expect that what's going to happen is that Stafford drives them down for some amazing Cooper Kupp helmet catch like thing at the end of the game to win it.
All right, I like that.
Okay, thanks.
I'll be up next. We'll let Matt finish it since it's his kind of show thing, and he's sponsoring the whole year, and he should get the last say. I would agree with you that my heart wants the Bengals to win. That this magical run they've been on, the Joe Burrow with ice in his veins, and kind of let's pick the underdog, and that's the one you want to root for. I'll be rooting for him. That's where my heart goes. I don't like the offensive line against the Rams. I think that's going to be a big determining factor. I think that they'll see as much pressure, if not more, than they saw in the first round of the playoffs. I think that defensive line, the defensive pressure from the edge, I think that's going to be too much for the Bengals to handle. But I think everybody's looking at this game like, oh man, I want the Bengals to win, but there's no way they're going to win. I don't know about that. I mean, this is a clear opportunity for the Bengals to win this game. They have the tools. Sure. I think that the offensive scheme matches up well with the Rams. We've talked week after week about all the weapons that the Rams have and the cups and the offensive, excitement that they bring and the coaching. And I think ultimately, when push comes to shove, I think the Rams have the better chance to win. But for me, because you know me, I don't like to make any decisions without doing some research. So I brought my research with me
All right,
here.
this should be good.
So what I decided to do was let the animals.
he folded
I let
it
the
this week.
animals decide
He folded
this
it
year.
this week,
I
so
did.
you
It
couldn't
was
see it.
secret.
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
don't want
want
him to
me to.
steal my stuff like I did last week. So what I did some research and I went online and I went to the animals because I think the animals should determine this. Different animals throughout the country. Okay.
Sure.
So what I did was I looked up the top 2 animals in predicting the Super Bowl in the last 10 plus years, right? Not just 1 year, not just 2 years. So we got Buffett the manatee at the Moda Marine Lab and Aquarium in Sarasota. He's 11-2 over the last 13. 11-2. That's ridiculous, right? Yeah. He's got the Bengals this year. Okay, he picked the Bengals already, so pretty good chance for the Bengals to win. Sid, the resident Wolverine at Zoo Montana, he gets 2 cakes every year. 2 cakes kind of far apart, and he's 8-2 over 10 years. That's pretty crazy, man. What you and I, we couldn't pick
That's like
80.
80%.
I know that's that is 80%, right? Well, he has the Rams this year. So, it's all over the board, even
But
for the
11
animals.
and 2 is a better
It is.
percentage than
So
8.
I had to dig a little deeper and do hours of research for the show because it's the kind of guy that I am, of course.
You think that's accurate?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
He takes it seriously.
Oh yeah,
does
totally
take it
serious. So then I went to the Big D and Bubba radio show. Now you're gonna say that's not an animal, but it is because they use eggs for theirs, which at one point maybe could have been a chicken. So I know I'm reaching, but that's where I'm at. It's still a kind of an egg chicken thing.
He didn't
So,
make it to be a chicken.
right, exactly. But it was on its way to being an animal. So
Became breakfast.
they take 2 eggs, they put them in the microwave, and they decorate them the team logos. And they've been doing this for 23 years. 23 years they've been together doing this. They have a 77% accuracy rate. So I didn't just pick like the low accuracy things. We're talking about 70, 80 something percent. They put their eggs in the microwave. The first one to crack loses the game. This year, the Bengals egg cracked first. So symbolically, I think the Cincinnati Bengals crack first. I think they make the first of mistakes. I think they kick a lot of field goals, unable to get it into the end zone. I think the offensive firepower for the Rams is too much. So the eggs crack, the Rams won. I'm going Rams.
So all year long, and this is like week 20 that
Right,
we've done this.
right, exactly.
All year long, you've been coming up with these things off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Here's why this, the X's and O's and that. And when it comes down to the big game,
There it is. That is a wonderful clip right there. There's Buffett. There's Buffett the manager. Now his partner, there's a partner one as well. I can't remember his name, but he's 7-6, so it's not the same.
Scrub.
Yeah, he's a scrub. There's 2 manatees there.
good thing
and
that manatees are endangered or something. You
But
can't
to
hurt 'em.
your point, it's been a long season, and
So you decided at the end for the most important game, I'm just going to let it go with.
well, I
whatever
couldn't
animal
decide.
Okay.
I actually woke up this morning. If you see my shirt, I got stripes on my shirt. I actually woke up this
thinking
morning
Bengals
thinking Bengals. I was, and then I could not decide on the 2. So I thought, you know what? Let's just let the animals choose.
And
Kind
you
of like
said
in my
you-
house, the animals choose. The
Yeah.
kids choose everything.
What does your son? Does he have a?
I
opinion
think my son would be a Rams selection as well. The entire house, I believe, is rooting for the Bengals. Want the Bengals to win, except for maybe my wife, who had Cooper Kupp and Stafford on her fantasy team. So therefore, that's how she picks who should win. It's not the colors of the uniform, but so yeah, I needed to change it up. I wasn't sure. I really think this is one of those games that could do this.
And
So
I hope you're right.
I hope so, too.
I hope it is that kind of game.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. My son's playing football in college, and he said that their around the dorm rooms is the same thing. It's everybody wants the Bengals to win, but everyone's saying
Believes
they
the
think
Rams
it's
will
gonna
it's the underdog, right? We all want the underdog. That's a common thing, So
But here's the interesting thing. You got to stop and take a look at it. You were kind of getting to it earlier. That a lot of people are saying that the Bengals don't have the ability to win. If they got there, they got the ability to win.
Yeah,
I mean, bottom line is, either team could come out on top. They've both proven that they deserve to be there. What Burrow's done this year with that team has been phenomenal. Mixon, Chase. I mean, you've got some firepower there. Does it stand up with the same firepower that you're going to see with the Rams? We don't know. And a lot of it does come down to what you said. Which Stafford's going to show up? Is it going to be the Stafford that crumbles under pressure? Burrows has never played at this level before, and with everything on the line, is he going to crack? Is he going to be that egg that cracks first? I do agree with you. I think The big factor that you're looking at is going to be what the Rams bring on defense. If the Rams' defensive line comes out with the pressure that they've been providing and the hurry-ups that they're going to put, the hurry-up situations that they're going to put Burrows in, that could be the game breaker. It's funny, we were talking about it a couple of days ago at the dealership. One of the things that I'm looking at, and it's kind of common sense and it's stupid to say, but it's going to be that team that turns over the ball is going to lose.
Sure.
You know, those one or two mistakes, that interception or that fumble, I see the fumble coming more from the Cincinnati side of the ball with the pressure that the Rams defense applies.
They're sixth against the Rams are sixth against the run.
Yeah.
And so they beat up on them.
Yeah.
And then also don't forget that Matthew Stafford led the NFL in pick sixes this year.
Correct.
And he had, I think, 3 games in a row with a pick
Yeah.
six. So he's not afraid to throw it to the other team.
He's just looking for the completion ratio.
He's a
Yes.
He
gunslinger.
does want the ball hit the ground.
He's a gunslinger. That's what he is. Yeah.
You know what you're saying. You know, we've been saying. You know, he has more weapons downfield, and you kind of flip that script and play devil's advocate and say, okay, well, you look at the Bengals. So you made a good point. You said, you know, you put Ramsey. Do you put him one-on-one on Chase, or do you put him one-on-one on the number 2 and double team Chase? Well, who's the number 2? Who really
All of
is?
them.
Boyd?
All of them.
It's going
Oh,
to be
all of
everybody
them.
else?
It's everybody else.
anybody else.
Anybody else.
There's a tie for second?
There's a tie
There
for
really
second.
is no standout number
Yeah.
2.
No, you got
receiver.
Higgins, you got
Yeah.
Boyd, and if Uzama plays, if that
Yep.
could be a difference if he does play,
Yeah.
mixing out of the backfield. But there really isn't a number
But
2.
they don't have a standout number 2. You go to the Rams side of the ball now, and who is the number 2 on the Rams side of the ball? Are we looking at Beckham?
It's Beckham. It's clear. It has been clearly over the last 3 to 4 weeks. They figured out a way to get him to be number 2,
Yeah.
which
Well,
is the reason why they're doing so well. One of the reasons.
They said during the and I don't see it sitting here, but yes, here it is. Cam Akers, the Rams have handed the ball off to Cam Akers 54 times, thrown it to Cooper Kupp and Beckham a combined 55 times. That's targets, not completions. So they are trying to anyway.
Balance.
Yeah, it's balanced, but you have Cam Akers and you've got these two. I mean, you can make a case that Odell Beckham isn't an elite receiver anymore.
Well, now the other
But-
thing, and I'm drawing a blank here, Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take anything away. The guy's been there all season. He's back. He's healthy. And he's been there number 2.
Yeah.
You know, he's been a very, very solid receiver for them. You've got Sony Michel's healthy. Don't take anything away from him. When Akers was out, look what he was able to do to keep them in these games. So I just think you look at this, and between the 3 receivers, the tight end, and 2 running backs, you've got 6 guys that you're going to be able to get the ball to. In my personal opinion, looking at this, Cincinnati doesn't have that defense that is a huge threat. Yes, they can shut down the run,
They stopped the run.
but they don't pressure on the pass.
yeah.
They get passed on.
And
They
it's
don't put
exact
the pressure.
opposite on the other way around, right? It's the Rams are going to put pressure on that pass.
Right. They
And-
stop
and-
the run though.
Yeah.
They can't stop they don't stop the pass downfield, but they put pressure. So you have Cincinnati who doesn't put any they don't cover the pass very well. They stop the run, but they don't rush the quarterback. They don't hurry up the quarterback. The Rams stop the run and rush the quarterback. They just don't have that great coverage downfield.
Yeah, so the Rams are, and I found it down here. The Rams are 21st against the pass. The Bengals were 25th against the pass.
Right.
Yeah, but you also have to consider that teams are playing against the Rams, a high-scoring offense, that a lot of possessions, a lot of passing. They've got to defend the pass more often than a lot of other teams have had to because of
Trying to
them
flip
being able to
flop
put
or-
points on the board or play catch-up and that sort of stuff. I just think, you can look at all the weapons, and the Rams have everything from top to bottom. I don't know if you can find one thing that you can say the Bengals do better than the Rams.
Excuse me. Bengals kicker is
The
awesome.
Bengals kicker. Okay, I'll give them the Bengals. And it's going to 5 field goals. But I
Clutch.
think that's what it comes down to is
I
the
would
amount of
say
weapons.
this. I would say the quarterback's better. I honestly think
Burrow's
Burrows
better?
is better than Stafford.
I think it's, my opinion, it's early in his career to say he's better. I think that, would I rather have Burrow than Stafford to lead my team? Sure. But I think that this is one of those games where I think that McVay will do a good job allowing Stafford to manage the game. He's not going to force Stafford to win the game. And I think Burrow's going to have to win the game for his team. Not that he's not capable, but I don't see anything clearly better on the Bengals side except for maybe the kicker. And I think that's going to be the issue.
Do you think that Mixon is better than Cam Akers?
Oh, I think Mixon's substantially better than Cam Akers.
But what's his O-line going to do for him?
Correct.
Yeah.
That offensive line is rough.
When the running game, when it comes down to the running game, are they going to be able to create holes against a Rams proven defense?
Right. And I know there's no really home field advantage, even though they're home, but there is a bit of a home field advantage. I mean, it's you're gonna see, I would imagine, 70, 65% Rams fans, if not more. What do you guys think? I mean,
you're going to get that. Now, remember, the Super Bowl always draws in non-fans.
Sure, sure.
But here's what I want to here's one of the big things I'll tell you from playing the sport. The home field advantage isn't always that. The home field advantage is, hey, I didn't have to travel to get here.
Yeah,
got to sleep in my
that's
own
what it
house,
is.
You're traveling to get here.
And with 2 weeks, they've been there a while, so it's a little different there with the Super Bowl week. But I think it is a difference maker this year with the game being in LA as compared to something more neutral.
Huge.
So where are you going out with your pick then?
I'm gonna, the same thing that I said last week and 2 weeks ago. I'm still sticking with. I thought the Rams were gonna get here. I think the Rams are still gonna pull this off, and I'm gonna go the opposite of you. I don't think it's going to be a very close game.
Really?
I don't. I really don't.
I'm
not going to necessarily say they run away with it, but I'm going to say that I think it's probably going to be a 7-8 point game. I think it's going to be the Rams by 7 or 8. I don't think that this is going to be that same game that we've seen week after week where it's coming down to that last-minute field goal or going to extra time for the field goal. It'd be great if it did, the excitement of it, and to keep it a good game. But I don't see that. I think that you're going to see the Rams get out by a score and kind of hold that lead.
So behind the board over there, we have our producer extraordinaire today is Connor Witt. Connor is also our sports guy. So I figured it would be appropriate to ask him, huh?
No.
Okay. Moving along.
I agree with you, actually.
That it wouldn't be worth it?
No.
Who do you got?
I got Rams.
Are you rooting for the Rams? Is everybody rooting for the Rams?
I mean, I'm a Niners fan, so as much as I would like to see the Rams lose, I think they've got this. I think they've just got a stronger overall team than the Bengals do.
So here's my question about the whole thing. It all really comes down to what Sean McVay calls, right? Do you think that he's going to be willing to abandon the run? And
I don't think so. I don't think it comes down to that. I think a coach is going to create the flow of the game, but he doesn't create the tempo of the game. He doesn't create the pace of the game. And I think a lot of what happens on the field, the tempo and the pace of the players, is going to dictate what McVay's play calling is. He's not going to go in there and say, okay, play 1, we're calling this, play 2, we're calling this, play 3, we're calling this. Okay, this is the field position, play 1, we're calling this. Depending on what happens, then I'll have my next.
And he's been there, right? So I think that's a tremendous help. He's been there, he understands the emotion of it, he understands the feeling of a Super Bowl game, and I think that will benefit him in just his overall, effectiveness on the game. And I love both these coaches. Both these coaches are doing a great job with their teams. They're young. It's exciting to see young coaches doing their thing. But it's just every piece of me wants to go Bengals because that's who I'm going to be rooting for all day Sunday. But I don't see how they get it done. The last 2 weeks, I found a way that the Bengals could win that game. Picked them 1 out of the 2 weeks. This week unless Stafford totally implodes. 200 yards, 3 interceptions, and has a typical regular season Detroit Lions game. I don't see how Cincinnati can stay.
And I think that it's going to take one Stafford mistake. I think one inopportune pick or one stretching the play too long and holding on to the ball too long and getting a sack fumble.
Right. That's going to happen. He's going to have a pick. He'll probably have a fumble. I think they can overcome those things.
And I think that's enough.
Yeah. And I think McVay will find a way to not allow that to happen. I think whether it be the use of quick passes to Kupp or quick passes to OBJ or getting Akers even more involved or doing something to, if he sees that implosion start to occur, change it, do something different because he has all those weapons. He can make those changes, unlike, I don't know if Cincinnati can if the reverse were to happen.
Yeah. I think you're going to see right off the jump, I think you're going to see the Rams try to make that big play right away. I think they're going to hit downfield. They're going to try to get on the board quick.
And that sounds exactly like what McVay would do.
Right, yeah.
Let's make a big
Make
splash.
a statement.
Yeah.
It's LA, right?
Yeah.
It's LA.
Let's
glamour. One of the things I do like about McVay, though, is, man, the way he coaches the team. The team has respect for him. You don't see a whole lot of, you never hear any coaching friction out of that program. you were able to take Odell Beckham and get him on board and get Von Miller in there. And I mean, just the people that have come to the party with that team and fit right in. You know, you don't have the controversy coming out of that.
And I would agree with that, but winning cures a lot of that too. And all these guys have come into a program that's now winning, and that's which always helps. So,
the thing I'm really interested in is if the Rams do find a way to not win this game, and they have to dismantle this team afterwards for salary cap reasons or whatever, how that's going to hit the Ram kingdom.
Well, the Packers aren't going to get any of them, so it won't really matter for you.
Packers
Nothing
can't
for you
afford
to
them
worry
either.
about. So.
Packers can't
I feel like
afford
this
them
show is always about the Packers.
Actually, you know,
don't you feel that way? It's like we're always.
I never bring it up.
The Packers might be able to afford a couple of them because when Rodgers is gone, all
give
that
me.
money.
Can I have that bucket?
Yes, you
over there,
can. Yes, you
please?
can. Yes, you can.
All right, we're going to.
Hey, before you do that, why
yes.
don't we do a third price?
All right.
Oh, I like that idea. You're not
So,
giving something
I
of
do
mine away,
not
are you?
have
You know?
Super Bowl.
A year's free services from Bear. So I don't have Super Bowl tickets, but Anderson Ford, we are hosting the Super Bowl party up at Laughlin Ranch. So what I will do, it is a $25 buffet, all-you-can-eat buffet to get in up there for the game. So what I am willing to do, Anderson Ford, as a courtesy, we will give a party of 4.
Wow.
Oh, very
for
nice.
Sunday. So you can pick it anywhere in the order where you would like it to be, but we will do a party of 4, and we will get you a reservation set up. You'll have a table for 4 up there. At the we had a late entry.
And Matt H.
I didn't know how to spell my name, so it's not accurate.
Yeah, so we will we'll throw a third prize in there. We will get you set up today. We'll get you a reservation up there.
Very cool.
And
That's awesome.
And you know what? Thanks to Anderson for sponsoring the show. I've had a blast doing this all year. I know I'm sure you've had a blast doing it. I don't know if the viewers
so
or
much.
viewer has had a blast.
I don't know what.
But, right.
I'm worried about what John's going to do next Thursday.
That's probably true.
He's doing the show.
He's gonna sit here with nobody watching and just do the show. I like that idea.
It's going to be NBA.
The early draft edition.
It might be time.
The early draft edition.
Ooh, draft season. That's a
Yes.
good idea.
We're going to cover the combine at some point.
I like that idea.
We're going to have to cover fantasy.
Yeah, we'll do a fantasy wrap.
How do you guys not have a fantasy show? It's almost more important than the actual NFL games.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You know what? We'll find a sponsor
There you go.
next
We'll
year.
figure it out.
There you go.
All right, so what we're going to do first is I'm going to ask one of you to draw for the grand prize. That is the Mattress Land.
Do the honors.
They're all closed, right? I can actually look. Okay.
All right, so this is for the recliner from Mattress Land.
It's not my fault. I just picked one. Don't get mad at me.
Mary.
Matt Hanrahan.
It looks like it says Mary Meza, M-E-Z-A, I believe.
Congratulations, Mary.
That is, Mary
Yeah.
Meza.
All right, so we are going to, that's for that.
You're gonna remember. You're getting a little older in your age. You're gonna
I am.
probably should write something
no,
down.
I have
or-
a way of doing.
Oh, there's an
this.
order:
I've
first,
already
second,
figured
third.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then number 2 I'll put inside this. This is the.
It's very impressive.
This is the $150 up at the Ranch Bar and Grill. It says right there, Bar and Grill. You were correct.
Yeah, he is right.
So you want to pick that one, sir? David Schultz.
Congratulations, David.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So we'll put that with this. And then 4 tickets to the Anderson Super Bowl party up at Laughlin Ranch.
Correct.
That's gonna be a blast. You guys are gonna have a great time.
Sounds
Have a
great.
great
Yeah.
time. Go ahead, you pick it.
Oh, there we go.
You pick it.
Please let it be me. I don't have $100. Please let it be me. Gail Stones. And she had the best handwriting out of
She
everyone.
Oh,
did.
that is
She
good.
did.
That is nice. Even I can read that. Yeah.
Gail Stones. All right, Gail. I hope you're not doing anything Sunday. And you, I mean,
Now is that transferable for the 4 tickets?
is
Like if
good.
I give Gail a call and say,
If
hey,
you give Gail a call
okay.
and persuade her,
Gotcha.
good for you.
let's say nobody calls Gail.
that could be a
And-
possibility.
There
Yeah,
you are.
that would never
Yeah,
happen.
Gail-
Just so everybody
no,
out there
we're
knows.
kidding.
Of
Yeah,
course,
just a joke.
This is the huddle. Gail's
Just a
watching.
joke. Of course she
Of course
is.
she is. All right, congratulations to Mary. I think it's Mary Meza, Gail, and
David.
And so they have to. You're gonna contact them in order to get their stuff, or that's how it works.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care of calling you, everyone's phone numbers and emails. And
How many more do we have in there?
3 more.
Let's go ahead and pull those 3. These three right here, I'll give a free oil change at Anderson
Ooh.
Ford.
No, I really want my name in there.
Sandra Arkelin. I'll give you that.
You're doing a great job reading those, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
I'm
phenomenal.
so good at this. Dorothy Hanson. Okay. I said that like I knew her.
You do?
You did.
You don't know her?
Is that your mother-in-law?
And Linda Ware. It seems like a lot of women, right?
I know. Well, good.
Yeah,
So
that's
Dorothy, Sandra, and Linda. If you're watching and you know them, make sure they realize that they won. And these three here will get a free oil change at the service department at Anderson Ford.
Well, we're going to wrap it up. Matt, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
First of all, thank you for coming out here and doing this, but more importantly, for sending us a lot of money to do this.
Of course.
Appreciate that. And thank you.
Thank you. I know, I'm the pretty face. I get it. It's okay.
Absolutely.
You don't have to tell me.
Someone's
I understand.
gotta be.
Yeah.
Bloody all year long.
I didn't give you any money. I mean, I did outpick you all season, but I didn't really do anything to benefit except
Have
for.
a face for radio.
Yeah, I totally have a face. I don't even know if I can do that.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as a non-face for radio?
He did a radio show with me a couple years ago where we did this. We did it against the spread,
Right.
And we did all the games against the spread, and there was another guy too. So
Did the animals pick or did you?
no, he actually.
No,
well, he
yeah.
says he. Picked.
I was
don't
just
know.
torn this week. It happens, and I just
I
had
thought
to
maybe
make
you
a
had, like,
decision.
Had a turtle at home or something.
No.
You know, it could be. It
I
would
do
not
have a
surprise me.
tortoise near my home.
A desert
Yeah,
tortoise.
yeah.
He throws lettuce out there.
Oh,
There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
I think that's what should happen. Is I think that if the Bengals win, I think you should have to get a Buffett the manatee tattoo.
You got it. As long as it's in the one I can rub off, I'm good to
Wearing
go.
a Bengals helmet.
Yes,
Wearing
the
a Bengals helmet.
yeah. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it all year long. I know I had a great time doing it, and I hope you have a great time watching the Super Bowl.
Go Rams.
We'll see you.